Day 1, time to head home. Grace's apartment. Alright. Freddie. I only call her Farishta when I'm visiting her house. Her mom always makes me these deep-fried honey snacks I love. Freddie has been my best friend since probably forever. We used to make up rhymes while we skipped rope. It's been that long. We've come a long way from those days. Edge of Elysium is her band, and inviting me in was her idea. I was keen on joining, since I haven't seen Freddie much since I left school, but it's been kind of rough going. I can sing, sure, and when we get a gig, it feels good being up there on stage, but is it really my thing? I don't know. Oops. Okay. I know Calliope was one of the muses. Is that the same as being a god? But that's really about it. I don't know where she lived, what she got up to, or who her enemies were. I have so many questions. For one, what was she doing when she found me at the gymnasium? Was she just passing by, or did she plan that? How did she know where I lived? I keep thinking about what Calliope said to me before she died. She seemed so sad. Did she know what was going to happen? Most of all, why did she pick me? Hermes is the idol who came to collect me at my apartment when Calliope died. I didn't know their name at the time, of course. Athena only mentioned who they were afterwards. I guess the god of doorways, maybe? I wonder if they can go anywhere with that power. Into bank vaults, on top of a mountain, across the world? Pretty wild to think about. Could Hermes have been involved in Calliope's death? They seem surprised, if not really broken up about it. Not that Hermes strikes me as someone who does much deep thinking. They seem more like a kid, although I guess looks can be deceiving. Why did they have to come when Calliope died? And they did it right away, too. Kinda suspicious, if you ask me. Well, I don't know, I got the impression that he knew because of his powers as a god. But, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know much about Hermes. Aphrodite is the goddess of love, and I can believe it. She has that sparkle when you look at her, like she's one of those old-timey movie stars, all glamour and presence. I bet if she walks into a room, everyone stops what they're doing to stare at her. Why she's part of the chorus, I have no idea. She seemed kind of quiet and sad, like she's busy writing some teary ballad in her head, and not really listening to what's going on around her. If Aphrodite is behind Calliope's death, then she hides it super well. Maybe you just naturally learn how to be a great actress after 1,000 years or so. How would I know? I don't know much about this Apollo. He's that character from Battlestar Galactica. He's the only guy in the chorus, but he didn't say much of anything until he kind of defended me, I guess. At least he disagreed with the "you need to die" verdict. Guess I owe him one. If I actually owed anyone for giving me an extra week before they killed me. Or not so sure about that. Athena introduced Apollo as the god of prophecy, but I'm not sure exactly what that means. Don't prophets wear long robes and speak in big, booming voices? This one looks like a god, and looks less like a god and more like a surfer who crashed on the beach after a party and still hasn't found all of his clothes. Could he have killed Penelope? Or not Calliope? I can't take anything for granted when it comes to these people. Ooh, this one scrolls. Okay. Athena's supposed to be the goddess of wisdom, but how does that work? Is it a power of hers? Does she just know things? She's supposed to be really powerful. But how exactly? Mostly she just seems like my mom. It seemed like my mom or anyone's mom. Maybe that's what she is to the idols. The mom who looks after them and keeps them going. She was all smiles and was even super sweet when she told me I had to die. Like it was no big deal. That makes her a scary mom. Like the kind that demands to speak to the manager when things don't go her way. Because things always go her way. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's the cool mom. Maybe she'll keep smiling when she smothers me with a pillow. Because she's thousands of years old. And I'm basically nothing in comparison. And maybe she killed Calliope. And that makes me an annoyance because that means her murder didn't quite take. But then, why give me the chance to prove myself? If she really wanted me dead, couldn't she have just said, nope, no vote? Let's nip this in the bud? Athena really seems like the type who'd do that, right? Idols are so confusing. Persephone. What did Athena say about Persephone? She's the queen of the underworld? I had to look it up, but that's basically the idol version of hell. Does that mean it's a real place? Like you die and go to the underworld? Or maybe that's only happened to idols. Or that only happens to idols. Mind you, Athena didn't exactly say Persephone was the queen of the underworld, did she? She said once the queen of the underworld. So she isn't any longer. And she's also the idol that Athena didn't say was the god of something or other. I'm willing to bet that there's a whole story about that. Whatever it is, it's pretty clear that Persephone hates me. And not just because she thinks I'm a murderer. Because don't they all think that? It feels personal. Those sharp eyes of hers wanted to gut me and hang me on a clothesline. So I'd better watch my back. Okay. Well, let's theorize a little bit. Okay. So first of all, who would have the most motive out of these characters? I'm sure that we'll bring in other characters that could be, the culprit. But I think it's interesting to, just kind of scroll through these and kind of give my thoughts. Freddie. Freddie doesn't seem to have a motive because she doesn't seem to know anything of what's going on. I really doubt it's Freddie. But that said, she doesn't seem to know anything. But what if she did? What if she knew what Calliope was and she wanted Calliope's powers? She tried to kill Calliope, but Calliope ran away to somebody who actually deserved the powers. Not expecting it, but it's a possibility. Calliope. Did Calliope kill Calliope? That makes no sense, but I thought I'd bring it up just because she's in the list here. I guess maybe she killed herself so that she could give her powers to like a brand new prospect. I really don't think so. It's just going over all the options. Hermes. As they said there, it was suspicious that he popped up right at the moment of her death. I think that was part of his powers, that like told him that he had to, you know, bring her after the death, after the soul passed. Um, but yeah, as for like, so he would have had the possibility, but then what would be the motive? Um, I I don't really know enough about him to know what a motive could be. I really don't think that, a god can have multiple souls. That doesn't make sense. He he seems to have everything he would want. I don't know. We'll probably learn more about him as time goes on. Aphrodite. Um, I see no reason to doubt Aphrodite, or I mean, could it be a jealousy thing? Maybe she's in love with somebody that Calliope was also in love with. We'd need more information for that kind of thing. But if it's her, that seems like a reasonable suspicion. I'll keep an eye open for stuff like that. Um, Apollo. He seems like one of the least likely characters to have done it at the moment. He was the first one to speak up for us. Um, that said, it took him a long time to speak up for us. Maybe he was just like waiting to see what we were like. I I don't think it's him. He doesn't seem to have any motive that I can pin down. I'll revisit these later, when I have more information. I know I'm just at chapter 1. Um, Athena, the way that she seems to really want us dead is suspicious, but at the same time, like, once she realized that they weren't in accord, she changed her mind. She gave us time. I kind of got the impression that she was specifically waiting for, like I got the impression she legitimately didn't think that we had done it, and that she was waiting for people to intervene to, like, kind of show her, like, maybe who would be responsible or something like that. I just got that impression from, like, the way that she's like, well, and now it's done, uh once the verdict was changed or delayed, I guess. um it seemed like she was expecting it all along. um Persephone, i'm I'm suspicious of Persephone. She was the queen of the underworld. That means that she's not anymore. I know it's very cliche for the queen of the underworld, or king of the underworld, or what have you, to be the one that, is evil because he's part of the underworld. But he, but the thing is, if she doesn't have, like, if she's no longer the queen of the underworld, then that also kind of begs the question of, is she even an idol anymore? Could she have been after Calliope's power, perchance? That's a potential motive based off a lot of based on a lot of non-information. As for opportunity, so that is maybe a motive. I don't know of any extra opportunity that she would have that nobody besides Hermes would have had, or Calliope. But she's, with the information I have so far, she is, I think, the most likely. But it doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm being led into that direction. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue. So I move around by choosing the pins. End of the road. Inherit the legacy of the lost muse.
Grace? Grace!
Hi.
Hi! 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 You're kidding, right? When I came home, the door was wide open. You weren't answering your phone. Kaz and Brian are still out looking for... Grace... We thought something happened to you.
Something did.
Wait, did something happen to you?
When you got home, there wasn't a body here? No blood or anything?
A body? What do you mean, like a dead body?
Yeah. A woman named Calliope. She showed up and she was...
You were gone all night. Why didn't you answer your phone? I was calling and calling. This wasn't some hookup, was it? Because, you can say it's none of your business, Freddie.
Who is this?
It was definitely not a hookup. I'm allowed to say that much, I think.
Allowed to say? Like you're a secret spy? Have you been a secret spy this whole time? Because if you have, that's pretty cool.
Hi there.
Who is this, Grace? Why does he have horns?
Let's be vague. That might be funny.
Another one of the gods, I'm guessing.
Another one of the what and the who now?
To answer your question, my dear, you see the horns because I allow you to see the horns. That's crazy, right? As for who I am, I've been known most often as Pan. So you call me that, if you must call me anything.
Pan, of the Greek gods, Pan, right? What are you, some kind of cosplayer?
The days of idols being called gods are well behind us, I'm afraid, but I assure you, I am the real article. I've come to offer our newest idol a helping hand. Or perhaps two. You do look lost, don't you?
This is an important question.
So we can just talk about this. In front of Freddie.
Haven't you? Darling. And here I drop my glamour and everything.
It's just... I was told we're not supposed to. Talk about it, that is.
Talk about what? Grace, tell me.
The prohibition is against revealing the idols to the mortal world. She's not the mortal world, is she? She can be trusted, can't she?
Why do I have the feeling that I'm going to regret not leaving with Brian and Kaz?
Oh, I can guarantee it.
Okay, Freddie. Have a seat. Let's talk.
Oh no, time.
That's it?
Huh? I guess. Do you believe in this, Grace?
I'm still hoping I'll wake up. This feels like one really long, really bad dream.
I don't know. Isn't it cool to be a god?
If it is, the cool part hasn't happened yet.
Well, I have a million questions, but I can ask them later. The important thing is that I am here to support my best friend.
What did I ever do to deserve a friend like you?
You sat next to me at lunch period, dummy.
Oh yeah, right.
My friendship comes with all sorts of benefits, up to and including the tracking down of supernatural killers.
Such darling camaraderie. It brings a tear to my eye. It truly does.
Speaking of killers,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You wound me, dear lady. I've come to offer advice to our newest idol, a foundling who was set adrift most cruelly.
Don't you think you're being a little suspicious, Freddie?
I don't know. Maybe things work differently among these... What are you again?
Idols, darling. Beings of worship, adoration, prowess.
Okay, right. Maybe it's different for idols, but when things are a little too convenient, it's worth questioning. Especially when they show up like a salesman in a cheap suit.
I'll have you know there's nothing cheap about this suit.
So you're here purely for my sake then? Like a charity case?
My dear sweet girl, as far as you're concerned, I am the god of charity cases.
But you're not, are you? Pan was the god of lust and mischief. Doesn't sound too charitable to me.
Ah, yes. The old tales of the gods. Such antics, such fantasy. Pay them no mind.
Seems rather convenient, you showing up with advice. How did you even know I existed?
A little bird told me, if you must know. Very useful, those little birds.
He's not gonna tell you, Grace.
There's not much to tell. Among the idols, news travels swiftly. We are a tiny village of godly busybodies. I heard of your arrival, and I know how obtuse the chorus can be. So here I am. You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna go accusing him to his face. It's worthwhile to be suspicious, but I mean, let's get some information.
Okay, I'll bite. What's your advice? I have to admit, I don't really know where to start.
Well, I'm not normally one to run amok telling others how to live their lives. But have you considered using your powers?
My powers.
Music, art, passion. You are the last muse, and all these are now your province.
When I was talking to Athena and the others, they all started singing. Does that mean... that was me?
Let me guess. Music swelled as if from nowhere. Lips quivered, souls were laid bare.
Yeah, I guess.
And yeah, that was you.
Okay, but how does that help me find Calliope's murderer?
Allow me to expedite the process of understanding. Now then, close your eyes. You hear that? It's coming from you. When you sing, what emotion does it summon?
I don't know.
You open your eyes, you look into the crowd, and you feel...
powerful.
Grace, you know that you're lost now. You've been given powers you don't understand. I'm the guy who can help you. All that you hear is at your command.
Wait.
No, it's okay, Freddie. This is all me? What do I do?
Start singing.
Now?
Why not? Time's a wasting.
Not about to just trust you. You barge in and take over the place. I don't know what I must do, but here's what you can do. Get out of my face. I'm doing it right now, aren't
You're a natural girl.
I don't
Lost
follow.
little girl.
Are those really actual horns?
control.
And this singing is so hard to swallow.
I know!
Can you hear me, Grace? What's going on?
Lost girls, you all love your lost girls. A rescue that you can take home.
I won't say you need saving. You're not drowning, you're waving. And you two, are you dating? It's so titillating.
Grace, we gotta be careful. Has he slipped something into our drinks? Spouting crap about powers. He could be dangerous, what do you think? Sing it, Freddie, I hear you. We've only just met, now he's my new best friend. Now I'll owe him a favor. And what will he want in the end?
You're lucky I got to you. There's people out there who will come for you. I've heard that you're making so much ado. You're lost and I'm trying to help.
Lost girls, you all love your lost girls. A rescue that you can take home.
I'm so glad I found you. Wolves all around you. But can you survive on your own?
What do I do then?
Whatever you wish, the power is yours.
Grace, I'm frightened.
It's okay, Freddie. I got this.
Grace, what are you doing? That wasn't me.
You sure?
Will you stop screwing around?
I enjoy it.
He should be avoided.
Or applauded.
Grace, who's it gonna be? Him or me?
Lost girls, the world's full of lost girls who didn't know which road to take.
She knows what she's doing. I just know what's at stake. Lost girl. Grace is not a lost girl.
'Cause I found her and the news is away.
What does that mean? Freddie, only he knows.
I've had enough now. She irritates me somehow.
Don't go.
Well, maybe I should.
Are you both making me choose? Guys, this is unfair, but we're getting nowhere.
Hurry, Grace. We've no time to lose.
Sorry to break it to you, Pan, but I'm not abandoning my best friend.
That's your choice. Humdrum mortality.
How about trusting in those who love her instead of those who want to use her?
Oh my, such drama. No matter how you employ it, Grace, this is the power of a muse, drawing out that which lies within. I trust you can see how that might be useful in your investigation.
Sure, but I have to admit, I didn't feel completely in control.
Of course not. A song goes where a song goes, Grace. It will only go where it wishes. A muse does not command. She evokes. She elicits. She inspires.
That's what I was trying to do.
Look,
and you guys
Creepo,
just saying nothing.
Grace already told you to take a hike.
So she did. Allow me to get to the point then. For all your powers, you still need a place to begin your search. And this I can provide. An address. In the city. Where Calliope was staying, I do believe.
That will be useful.
Her address? Thank you, that's perfect. Thank you.
Now this I consider a favor. One I hope you'll remember in future dealings.
Of course.
That's perfect. We can look for clues there. What this Calliope was doing, who her enemies were.
I should remind you there is an element of danger. A killer is on the loose, no?
No worries, I got this.
Oh?
Whatever my magical song powers can't handle, I'm sure a boot to the head will.
I see.
I need to find Kaz and Brian. Just tell them you're okay. If, not the other stuff.
Then I guess I'll go check this place out on my own.
So glad that's settled. I'll let you get to it. I've drinking to resume. Ta-ta.